Good. Right, sweet. Oh yeah. You know who else adores kids?
Fear
All of them.
Street.
Fear Street, the principals at the Fear Street High School.
Yeah.
It's just called
Um,
Fear Street High.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Horror Show podcast, a horror movie review podcast where we review horror movies from Netflix, Hulu, Shudder, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sam Odie.
And I'm your co-host, Stormy Skies.
This week we are reviewing, oh God, I forgot to change this, Fear
Fear
Street
Street.
Prom Queen, which is a 2025 Netflix original horror movie about a bunch of girls in the 1980s running to be prom queen and they get killed throughout the night.
Yep,
I think that was good.
definitely
That was
do.
good. I
Yeah,
still
that
have
was
the free Waka information there.
very
So,
succinct. Oh my God, yeah, the Frey Walker, which is like, I don't know what ha is happening right now, but
yeah.
it's scaring me.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
And this is how we like to break it down. We start with characters and acting, then move into story and writing before wrapping things up with production notes. And then we like to discuss the real horrors this movie addresses. Sometimes they're serious, and sometimes we like to have a bit of goofy fun. That being said, we are a horror movie podcast, so here is a general trigger warning. We talk about death, blood, guts, and other unsavory topics that might not be suitable for everyone, although we try to do so sensitively. Listener's discretion is advised. Movies are then rated on a scale of what the fuck did I just watch, which means there are no redeeming qualities to be found, meh, it's okay, and ah yeah, that fucked me up, which is what all horror should try to be. So, let's get started.
Let's let's. We will get started with Sam gave an excellent synopsis before. Basically, that's exactly
Yeah.
what happens. We're at
Yeah,
the high school,
that's what
Shadyside High
happens.
School, right?
Shadyside High School,
Which is like the shitty high school.
the shitty high school. And okay, here's going to be my biggest complaint that's going to thread
Okay,
throughout
cool.
this episode.
Yeah.
With the original trilogy, I think the original trilogy is such a great teen scream, like one of the best teen screams we've gotten in the
Yeah.
2020s.
Hmm.
It's wonderful. It has like such like deep lore. They did an amazing job connecting these three movies and the
Right. Yeah.
plot. And then this one feels like a straight to DVD sequel.
Right, it does because they really tried to like they really tried to connect it in the beginning, like intro
Hmm.
thing. And then I was like, I don't know what the
It
fuck.
it
Oh,
really fell
yeah,
flat for me.
it did. The only connection was that they were in the same place, which was Shady Side.
Yeah.
But
We
yeah.
don't, we're missing all of that like rich, juicy lore.
Right, like the stuff that happened in the past, because the whole entire movie is about like how the main girl's mom like did something bad in the past, and that's like the whole
Yeah.
drama. And I'm just like,
And
what the fuck even
it's
happened?
so weak. Like we don't get any
Yes.
flashbacks to that. We don't.
Dude, I know. So I was like, what the fuck did she even do? Like something bad? And then they're like, and I was like, she killed her husband? Like what? And then they're like, no, it's like not a big deal. And I'm like, okay, is it not a big deal?
Yeah,
Like
because
cool,
she's
cool.
also not in prison for killing her husband.
She's actually a police officer. And I'm like, okay, word. So like she's like, okay.
Yeah, so I
Damn.
don't
I don't know what the
it
fuck.
just the backstories were so weak and
Yeah, dude.
my first note was I already miss our lesbians from the original trilogy.
Yeah, that was a little bit more exciting. You know what I mean? Everybody was, well, apart from like her best friend who was like probably gay, everybody else was just straight girls,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
heterosexual
Well,
girls.
were they all straight? Because everybody had like this weird, they're about to kiss tension whenever they were talking.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well,
Did you
the
pick up
girl
on that at all?
I picked up on like, yeah, the best friends. And then maybe the other girl, I don't even know what their fucking names are. Hold up. Okay,
Uh,
Lori.
Lori is our main character,
And then
Lori Granger.
Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany, who's like the mean girl.
Hmm.
She was like being too like seductive when she was being a bully towards
Yeah.
her. So yeah, I could see that. But then
Yeah.
her best friend who was like I don't know what her name was. Megan or something. Was it, or maybe somebody else? Melissa? I don't know. They all M names. Megan, Melissa, uh 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 yeah. One of them that her girlfriend, not her girlfriend, her best friend, that they had a pretty good chemistry too.
Yeah. Everybody had chemistry except maybe the main girl's love interest. I think his name was Tim. even if it's not Tim sound
Tyler.
Tyler. His name was Tyler. I
Okay.
mean, I guess they had a couple of cute moments, but again, all of these characters were so flat compared to the ones we originally had in Fear Street 1994,
Yeah.
1978, and 1666.
Right. Yes, yes. There were years. This one is just not even a year, but it
Yeah,
is in the 80s.
yeah. So
Yes.
it, I don't know. Everything felt flat. I've read some reviews online and who thought the acting was pretty good, and it's. I mean, I guess the acting was good, but the characters themselves were so flat the way they were written that wasn't a lot for the girls to work with.
Yeah. Like all the bullies were just mean, but in the beginning it was funny because they were all given like each girl had like her own little like trait. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
one was the girl's like lapdog and one was the girl's like henchman and one was like something else. And I was like, okay, cool. Are they gonna like do that? And they like didn't do that because they were like never in a scene ever. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one ever did anything special or different for me to differentiate them.
Oh
The only
yeah.
one I knew that was the main girl that kept popping up was because that was her neighbor, and that's how I remembered who she was.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the Mean Girls all carbon copies of each other, and I felt like they shouldn't have been.
I know.
I wish we got to know them each individually. There was that one, I can't remember her name. She also had dark curly hair, like the main one.
Yeah, right. They look
And
the same.
they looked the
Yeah,
same.
what the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
And like they just weren't fleshed out at all. There was something the curly haired one kept wanting to tell someone, but we never find out what it was.
Oh, the one who was like kind of being nice at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So like, I guess it was important.
Yeah, we never find out where the change of heart comes from.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, yeah, why do you suddenly feel bad? Like, and then why do you give her her makeup? Like, what the fuck? So, um, yeah. And then I also felt, tell me if you felt like this was awkward. So, in the movie, a lot of people died during prom night,
Hmm.
but the only girl that doesn't die on prom night is the one punk girl.
Yeah.
She dies like the day before. But like, why is that? I guess like it's different because she's like a drug dealer or something. But I was like, I thought it that because that happened because she died before prom night. I thought we were going to be like everyone's going to die like leading up to prom night, and there's only going to be Lori left. But no, it was
Right.
just one girl this day, and then everybody else this day. So that was a
Hmm.
little weird to me.
And um spoiling the story before we get into it a bit. Um so the killers are Tiffany's parents.
Yeah, you know
Dad.
what? That was kind of a big disappointment. I thought it was going to be like a creepy student
I thought it was
boy.
going to be the principal and what's her face, the not principal, but had a
Yeah, the vice
the
principal
vice principal who was
is
weird with Lori.
yeah, yeah, that too. So it would have made more sense if it was them. And then actually, I don't know if you noticed, Sam, because there was like a blink if you blink and you're gonna miss it moment. But whenever everybody was in the auditorium in that one scene at school, and then they made them leave the auditorium, there was a shot of one student that we had never seen or spoke to before, and he looked like a creeper. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh shit, maybe that's the killer. And then it wasn't. I was like, okay, didn't even have to use them in the movie. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And like the dad's not even hot. Like, real big disappointment. I was like, who the fuck? Like, why does this
Well,
guy give a shit?
at one point in his life he was probably considered hot. He's Oz from American Pie. Um
Oh, I haven't seen that movie.
yeah, he's Oz from American Pie.
Okay, okay.
So he was kind of funny in this too.
Okay.
Um but here's the thing. Oz is just such a like nice guy in American Pie.
That you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that anytime he plays some sort of like campy villain, which
Yeah.
is really in Sweet Magnolias, he is very good at Sweet Magnolias, but they killed him off screen for whatever reason. Um,
Right.
and this, it's hard to take him seriously as a villain.
Right. Like, and the sad part was that the villain was like very cool because he had a cool outfit, all in red, like latex or whatever. And then he had really good kills. And I was like, damn. And then he was really strong. He was like taking down, like, I don't know, these football players and shit. And I was like, damn, this dude's like strong. Like, who is it? And I was like, it's just a dad.
Yeah.
Wah wah. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. That's
Exactly.
literally, yeah, whatever. And that's how I felt the whole time. Anyway, please, I don't know where we're even at, but please continue.
um, Let me just mosey on over to the Wikipedia page so we can read a
Okay.
summary of the
Okay.
movie.
Cool. Cool.
Um, and go beat by beat
Yeah. Okay.
like we like to.
I like that. Yeah. Let's do that.
Even though I did just watch this morning, so I should know better. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Segueing into story and writing, we've already dissected the writing. Everything feels very flat in this
Yeah.
movie
Totally.
compared to the original trilogy.
It
And maybe
does.
that was intentional for it to feel like a straight to DVD sequel.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe. In 1988, the senior class of Shadyside High prepares for their prom. Lori Granger signs up to run for prom queen against the popular girl group nicknamed the Wolfpack, consisting of the ruthless queen bee Tiffany Falconer and her friends Melissa McKendrick, Debbie Winters, and Linda Harper. Lori is outcast by fellow students due to rumors of her mother murdering her father, though she was deemed innocent. Vice Principal Breckenridge intends for the prom to be to reinvent Shadyside in spite of the town's poor reputation. The night before prom, candidate Casey Renault, who is also a local small-time marijuana dealer, is stabbed and killed by a masked assailant. And a lot of this was broken down at the beginning of the movie via voiceover.
Right. Which I was like, okay, cool. And then they didn't do voiceover ever again.
Yeah,
So I was like, okay, enough of the voiceover. Enough of this. It's too much at once.
yeah.
Why were they even called the Wolf Pack? It doesn't even matter. That didn't matter at all.
None of it mattered.
They weren't even
They
that
didn't
like,
have personalities
no, they weren't
other
like
than being
wolves
popular girls.
for real. And they were trying to do Mean Girls, but it like didn't work out.
Yeah, I think had this movie leaned heavier into being like more of a Heather's Mean Girls
Yeah.
and given each of the prom queen candidates actual personality other than these girls are mean and Lori is off in the corner looking sad and outcasted.
Right. Yeah,
I would care more.
exactly.
Like that's the biggest note I made is I don't
Don't
care.
give a shit. I know, right, dude? I did not. I was like, yeah, yeah, whatever. Um, but yeah, alas,
Alas.
alas, we can continue on.
Sorry, sending a
It's okay.
message for work stuff where I'm not working on the weekend. So after all of that happens, the next day it is prom. Lori is attending prom with her best friend Megan Rogers, which let's talk about Megan Rogers because
Yeah.
she seems to be drawing these very intricate, detailed pictures of demons that never comes up.
Right.
Like
Oh,
I
and she did
thought,
that crazy thing in the class where she pretended to cut her hand off with like blood and everything, and I thought
yeah,
she really did it. And I was like, that was like actually really outrageous.
yeah,
And it was like not a big deal. But yeah, like she's like a little weird and she's like loves horror and she smokes and she's like, that's my best friend now.
yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. But
It's
like she's like the red herring for the killer, like straight up.
mm-hmm. And
But like
we
also not. Like I don't know. Like the whole time I was like, yeah, like they're making her the red heron too much that I was like, yeah, she's definitely not the killer.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just how I felt anyway. Whatever again.
Yeah. So yeah, lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Um,
Yeah.
you're good. And we also see that Lori has a crush on Tiffany's boyfriend, Tyler, and Tyler may also like Tiffany, which not Tiffany may also like Lori, which Lori, girl, if he's gonna cheat on Tiffany, he's gonna cheat on you. That's
Right.
just how it
We
works.
find out that they're like childhood friends
Oh
randomly, and
yeah.
that's why that they have a special connection. Um,
Again, this
right.
feels like the first draft of a script. I don't want to say that because I'm also working on a horror movie screenplay that will one day actually be a movie most likely.
Sick.
And I don't want people to say that about mine, but this one really does feel like a first draft because none of these characters are fleshed out. Like it feels like, okay, I've got to get the story on the page. We need to get from point A to point B. And they never went back and did the revisions of developing the characters.
Exactly, exactly. It's like, yeah,
And it's disappointing
it's
because
it's whatever.
I haven't rewatched Fear Street since we watched it for the podcast, but I
Wasn't this
remember those
bad?
characters being
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, they were pretty dynamic in comparison for damn sure. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, I think my one complaint with 1978 was what's her face's character? Sadie Sink's character was written the way any Sadie Sink character is written, and that's disappointing because she's a good actress.
Right. It's like, rebellious like young
Yeah.
girl with red hair. It's like, okay, cool.
But like I still cared about her and her sister, and I cared about the boyfriend that was forced to become the axe murderer because of some demon possession.
Yeah. But this is just like, it's just, I don't know how to describe it, except whatever.
Yeah.
Big L.
Big L.
Big L.
Big
Anyway,
L.
to continue, the friends go prom dress shopping at the thrift store and find Lori's super cute dress.
It is cute.
It
I
is very
did
cute.
think this is more of a production note
Yeah.
where everything felt flat. I also thought the costume design for the dresses looked cheap. Very,
Yeah,
very cheap.
everybody wore like all the girls were like blue.
Yeah, they all wore very similar dresses. They all look cheap, which is weird because you can just go to a thrift store and probably find a bunch of 80s prom dresses.
Oh yeah, they did look cheap. Oh yeah, this one girl wore pink, but then the other ones were blue.
Hmm.
And then they had like their weird bathing suit dance, which like was kind of random.
Which was
And then
weird
yeah, I
and
was like,
uncomfortable. These are
oh.
supposed to be minors. Why are we
Dude, for real, why are they in bathing suits like that? Like,
Why are
damn.
we doing this weirdly sexualized dance for minors who are competing for
I
as
know.
a gotcha for Lori?
Yeah, and like there's this like still because all the boys are on stage and they're like touching their legs and stuff. And I'm like, why would
Yeah.
they be allowed to like do that? That's so
Where's the
crazy.
principal?
He's like just got a boner in the corner. Like, I don't know. He actually like doesn't care. He's a non-issue person. He doesn't do shit.
Apparently.
He's just like, wowza. And that's all he says the whole movie a bunch of times.
Wowza.
Wowza. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Cool
Wowza.
80s thing, bud. But yeah, they do that. I don't know why, because they still don't win.
Hmm.
But like, of course not. Of course, Lori had to win because she was the underdog. So like, it's actually not even a surprise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not like, one Lori won by like one more vote, and that would have like made a difference to me. But they're like, no, like Lori just like won outright. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess like nobody actually likes the popular girls, and everybody likes Lori for whatever reason, but we don't know
Hmm.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Totally, I don't. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm. Just this whole script needed one more revision to just make the characters dynamic and make us care about their relationships. And again, maybe it was all intentional because it is very straight to DVD where we don't they're just relying off of the fact that Fear Street, the trilogy, was so well received.
Yeah. Yes, that's probably what they were doing. And this is based off of a book, right? The Fear Street stuff. R.L. Stine. Or nah, maybe a little bit,
Maybe a
sort of
little bit.
something like that. Okay, cool. I'm like very disappointed because this movie has really sick posters.
Hmm.
Like, I'm gonna send you this poster.
Much like if we recall, much like the
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw reboot where they try to do Old Man Leatherface since Old Man Michael Myers did so well.
Oh yeah, right? That movie. Oh my God. The one where he just like stands in like the court. Is that what that is when he stands in the field and it's like scary? It's just called Leatherface.
No, Leatherface is another one, but the one we watched it when it
Yeah,
first came out.
what is
It
that?
was just Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and It was just
E-
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the poster was stunning. It was
Oh,
him. It was
yes.
him standing in the field with of
Yeah.
flowers with the sunset in the background. Like that poster is absolutely stunning. It's a shame the movie was complete shit
Yeah, because aren't
and
they
forgot the
podcasters or some
plot.
shit? Yeah.
It was like
Or
shit,
like
I can't remember. It was like a
YouTubers?
group of
Influencers. That's
influencers
it. Yes, yes,
taking a
yes, yes,
trip, and
yes.
then like it was supposed to be a sequel in the same vein as Halloween 2018, where we're revisiting these characters for the first time in 40 years, and Sally, who was never this kind of character that they tried to make uh like they tried to copy and paste Laurie Strode
Yeah,
onto.
exactly. Yeah.
Because no offense, everybody, but I finally did watch the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I think the remake is significantly better.
Dude, the remake. Yeah, I know, right?
Like
Everyone's super hot.
I was watching. I saw it in theaters for the 40th anniversary, and I expected more.
Yeah, because I know. Well, yeah, the original is like it's okay, but it's like whatever.
Hmm.
But the remake is cool because isn't Arlie Ermy in it?
Ooh,
Yes. Okay, so we have
yeah,
Sheriff
yeah.
Hoyt, and I think that like literally makes
Hmm.
or breaks this movie. I
Exactly.
swear to fucking
And
God.
but since the 2018, 2020, whenever it came out, I can't remember. It was supposed to be a sequel
2003.
to the original. Yet they
Oh,
forget everything that makes Bubba and the Texas Chainsaw Family so special, which is that they are a family. So why is part of the plot that he lived in an orphanage?
I know, right? Yeah, totally. He didn't. If we
He,
go by the plot of the remake of the original, he was like, or even in Texas Chainsaw the beginning, which is why I love that movie.
hmm.
He's not in a fucking orphanage. His
Yeah,
parents gave birth to him and threw him away
yeah,
in the garbage, and someone found him and
yeah,
brought him home to the family house, right? Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys?
yeah. And his
Ugh,
adopted family loves him.
it fucking bugs the shit out of me that they did that because you're right. And that the movie was 2022.
Hmm.
Yeah. So stupid. So dumb. Anyway, but yeah, like that, we're irritated about Fear Street too.
Oh yeah, this is such a great prom queen
Isn't that
poster.
sick, dude?
So
That's
stop
so
making good posters
cool.
for bad
The
movies.
fuck are we doing?
Um, so yeah,
Anyway,
everybody starts dying at prom. They keep like leaving the prom to go make out places and dying, so it all feels kind of contrived and
yeah.
sequential.
Yeah, totally not important at all. And they just
Yeah.
die. And they do
Um,
die. At least they die in like semi-interesting ways.
they do. I liked the kills. That's one of my notes is the kills are really well executed. The
Thank
gore
God for
is really
that.
good.
Yeah, at least they
Um,
don't just get stabbed and like, okay, cool.
yeah, but because the plot is so boring and meandering, we're kind of just waiting for the kills to wake us up.
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? It's like, okay, when's the next one gonna be? Let's go.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Tyler to die since he was the love interest.
Oh, yeah,
And in such a
yeah.
kind of throwaway moment, too.
It is a fairway moment. How does he die? Forget.
The killer comes out and stabs the top of his head.
Oh yeah, yeah. At least it's his head. That's a little bit more
Yeah,
shocking
yeah,
than a basic. Oh man. But yeah, so rest in peace, Tyler. That's very sad, but I guess it's supposed to just, you know what, Sam? They probably killed him just to make the viewers feel bad.
yes.
But that was like, okay, whatever, because Lori liked him for 2 seconds, but he didn't
Hmm.
break up. He wasn't cheating. He didn't kiss her. They didn't like hold hands. Nothing happened. So
Yeah, never kissed because
it was,
her weirdo, oh, Janice Ian,
yeah.
that's who they're clearly copying with the best
Dude,
friend, Megan.
right? Yes, yes. Janice Eden without the gay counterpart, gay guy
Yes.
counterpart.
Just that was just Janice Ian. So yeah, maybe they were trying to do a horror movie Mean Girls without any of the good
Yeah.
dialogue and
Yeah.
good character development.
Yeah. And like the mean girls were just like mean, but they were only mean in the way where they're like, well, Lori, like your mom, like did a bad thing a long time ago and you're just like her. And I'm just like, all right, do you have anything else to say about her? Like any more mean stuff? And they just didn't have it. They weren't like, you're so stupid. They never
Yeah.
like did blatant insults. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Word. So they were just like
Um,
pathetic mean girls. Anyway, yes.
yeah, so after Tyler's killed, they run back to prom. Lori suddenly believing Megan that there is a serial killer around.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and the serial killer kills a couple people, but no one notices because they're crowning the prom queen right now.
Yes, and then some of the prom girls aren't there and they're like, yeah, whatever. Well, it's Lori and she wins and Lori's like, oh, this is so crazy. And then I may have left the room. I don't know what I was doing.
I
I
was
don't know.
reading while I was
Were you
watching this.
reading? I
I
was like,
started taking
no.
good notes and then I was like, I know what I'm gonna say. It's just that this movie's boring.
Right, right. I like was moving about the house. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was like getting food. But I know that I left the room whenever like Lori was crowned because when I came back, she like I had to like rewind because she like had the tiara and
Hmm.
stabbed like the the guy because the her girlfriend like jumped on him to like apprehend him because the dad is so fucking weak that like although he can take down all these big dudes, the little scrawny lesbian girl took him down too.
Hmm.
Like, all right, word. Uh, and then the tiara is so hard that it just stabbed through his body
Hmm.
somehow. It must have been like, I don't know.
Well, it got him in the eye.
Oh, really? In the eye. Okay, yeah, you're right. I was
Yeah.
like, what did it stab that it
Yeah,
just like
because
went through?
we saw the bloodied eye and well, we know there's two killers because two killers took out the curly-haired friend. So
Oh.
we know the audience knows, gasp, that they've only caught one of the killers, but who's the second
Oh.
killer?
I
I
missed
wa
that completely,
Yeah.
bro.
I I wonder who the
My bad.
second killer could
Wonder
be.
who it could
So the
be.
police hold Tiffany's mom back for questioning since it was her husband who did it, and Lori, who's just so good and so outcasted, goes home with Tiffany to make sure she's not alone. They hear the killer coming up the stairs with the knife, so they hide in the closet, and Tiffany gets all weird and she's like, I loved every moment of it, revealing that she participated in the killings, tries to kill Lori. We find that's when it's then Lori, Tiffany, and her mom team up against Lori, but Tiffany gets pushed off the stairs in a really nice, gnarly kill.
That was cool. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a really good kill. Again, the kills in this movie are really good. It's just everything else that's so boring that even the
I
kills
know.
feel very underwhelming. It's like, oh,
A,
okay.
a totally different
I
person
I
orchestrated all the
felt
kills, you know?
there was like no tension leading up to these kills where I
Dude,
care
no.
about the characters and like, oh God, he's gonna get this character that I like.
Right, like even whenever the mom and Tiffany were going to kill Lori, I was like, okay, let's like go. I was like, do it, just go faster. And I was like, she's taking too fucking long. Now something's gonna happen. And then she died, and I was like, oh, okay, she died. So yeah. And then also, I did not appreciate. I thought the mom's acting was a little weird at the end when
Oh
Lori hit
yeah.
her in the head with like a trophy.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was a little like awkward. I was like, all
Yeah.
right, girl, I guess that's you being paralyzed or concussed or something.
Yeah. And I guess it's revealed that Tiffany's mom killed Lori's dad, something Granger's always ruin everything
Mm.
for the
Totally.
Falconers. And I'm like, okay, I don't know the context for this because we've had like zero
Dude, right? We have
character
zero
development,
backstory.
very little
Totally. We
backstory.
see her mom, we see her cop mom like one time ever.
Yeah.
And she's like, sorry, I wanted you to go to prom. And she's like, okay.
I wanted you to go to prom. Okay.
Right. And I'm like, okay, I guess she's not like, oh, I can't believe you would go to prom. Like, you know that it traumatized me. You're like, oh, I'm glad that you're trying to move past family trauma by going to the prom. But like, nope. She's just whatever. Anyway, just an
Anyway,
absent mom. Anyway.
so
Yeah.
that's the end of the story.
Yeah,
is
and then she leaves the house and then she says like I'm Lori fucking Granger, but I forget why she says that and then it's over.
yeah.
Dude, did you not think that they try to do the end like Scream?
Oh yeah, kind of.
Because they were trying to make that girl be like Gail Weathers and she was walking back through the carnage house of all the dead people. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
just what Gail Weathers does in Scream 1 at the end when everyone's
Mm-hmm.
dead. What the
Yeah.
fuck? You think I didn't notice? They're just copying. What the fuck you doing?
We
And
noticed.
I was irritated actually. I was like, why would you just do that to like make it cool? Like you didn't do any other cool like at
Mm-hmm.
least what I noticed, there was no other like Easter eggy thingies
Yeah.
apart from that. And I was like, why did you even do that? Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Just fuck out of here with that.
Just get the
Anyway,
fuck out of here.
and then it was over, and I was like, okay, cool, it's over, yay! Talk about this movie. I thought it was cool that Ariana Greenblatt was in it because she was in Borderlands movie, which nobody liked also, but she was Tiny Tina, and I was like, hey, there she is,
Yeah.
coming up. Um,
Um, so yeah, production. My note was even the cinematography in this movie felt very flat and boring.
yeah.
Very little like care and thought was put into it. Uninspired even.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was uninspired, dude. It was like if I didn't know this was set in the 80s, I would think this is just like set
Hmm.
now
Right.
or whatever, or like or just like no time given. It's just like prom. So
Hmm.
the era didn't even matter at all,
No, it did not.
in my opinion.
Um, the soundtrack.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was really good. That was
Okay.
probably one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, yeah.
Was the soundtrack. It that's what really elevated the 80s environment for me. However,
Yeah.
the costumes looked cheap, and there's this
Mhm.
constant issue with things set in the 80s where they don't commit and do the right hair
Oh
or
yeah, everyone's hair
makeup.
was flat.
It was
Yeah.
so flat and it looked too modern, both hair and makeup.
Yeah.
And in a post Lisa Frankenstein world,
Yeah.
I'm not tolerating it anymore.
Right. Yeah, you shouldn't.
So that's what I have to say about that.
So yes, their hair didn't look like this at all. Why not? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Just
Um,
goofy hair. This is cute hair.
yeah. So those were all my production notes. Realistic aspects, people taking Prom Queen too seriously.
Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't have, I don't know if I had prom queen at my high school, but I went to theater school.
You did go to theater school.
I don't think I had prom. Did I have prom? Yes, I did have prom. And then Luke's school had prom. I don't, I have to ask him if they did prom king or queen. I like don't remember. I know they do homecoming, king,
Mm-hmm.
queen, but that's kind of like like a sports thing, like football.
Yeah.
I don't know,
They
dude.
probably did.
Did you have it? I don't
Yeah, we
remember.
had a prom queen.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. It was like a voting thing.
Yes,
Oh,
we voted in homeroom.
okay, cool.
So
Yeah, is Lisa Frank? We should watch Lisa Frankenstein. This looks cool.
you haven't watched it yet?
No,
Oh, it's
no.
so good.
Is it streaming? Let's see.
It's streaming somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
Peacock. It's streaming on a Peacock.
Peacock. I don't
You have
have
Peacock
Peacock.
still?
I don't have Peacock.
No. Isn't Peacock free or am I thinking of something the wrong thing? I'm putting it on the list.
Peacock's free, but some of the newer movies they have on it are behind a
There.
premium paywall.
Aha. Frankenstein. Okay, I'm just gonna put it on my list anyway. All right, cool. It's cool. Okay. But yeah, anyway, other realistic aspects. I I don't know. Literally
I don't know.
nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mean
Um,
girls in school
yeah, Mean Girls in School.
bugging you about like what your mom did and you don't even know what the fuck she did.
Yeah.
There's actually no like I guess like maybe uh a like your family reputation being tainted, but people don't know the whole story. but
Mm-hmm.
also the viewer of the movie doesn't know the whole story. So like it's actually always gonna be bad because no one's telling the real truth. So I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
the fuck happened. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
No other real estate. But what would you rate this, Sam?
Meh.
Meh. I agree. I would
Just
say whatever would be my meh today because
yeah,
like I don't give a shit.
I'm not offended by it by any means, but I was just it was disappointing compared to how great the original trilogy is.
Yeah,
It was very dull, it was bland. It was meh.
it was meh. Totally meh. Totally whatever because I was watching it and I was just like literally fucking whatever
Mm-hmm.
to this movie and then I like left to do stuff. And then I came back later and I didn't rewind because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I already know what happened. I already know. I already know.
Yeah.
So anyway, um that's all I have. You want me to
Yeah.
do the outro now?
Yeah,
Wrap it up?
I guess
All right,
that's all we
sweet.
have.
That's all I've got. So excuse me, sorry. Thanks for tuning into our episode. We are the Real Horror Show podcast. Our host is Sam Odie, and I'm the co-host Stormy Skies. The podcast was created by Sam Odie and Stormy Skies and is directed, edited, and produced by Sam Odie. You can find Sam on Instagram at Sam is Writing Stuff, and you can find Stormy on Instagram at The Stormy Skies. You can find the Real Horror Show podcast on Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Play Store, Pandora, and anywhere you like to stream your podcasts. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you're always in the know when a new episode comes out. Follow us on social media. You can find the Real Horror Show podcast on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, and Blue Sky. We do more than just podcasts. We love to write and have plenty of great movie reviews and essays, all of which can be found on our website, realhorrorshow.com. We love hearing from our listeners. You can ask us a question, or send us a movie request to review by DMing us on social media. Or you can even send us an email at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Call for guests. Do you love horror movies? Are you a podcaster, a content creator, a movie lover, or anyone in between who is a listener to our show? We would love to have you as a guest on one of our episodes. Reach out to us via social media DM or email us at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Our podcast episodes featuring guests are all listed on our website, realhorrorshow.com. We are so thankful for all of our listeners. You are the life force of our podcast, and we wouldn't really exist without you. Thank you all for making this podcast real and supporting us as we record every week. You can support us in different ways, such as liking and sharing our podcast episodes on social media. Giving us a review will help the podcast more than you know and will help the other listeners find it too. You can also donate to Real Horror Show by visiting our support page on our website, where you can make a one-time donation via PayPal, buy us a coffee with the Buy Us a Coffee button, or explore our very interesting Amazon wish list. Any other pertinent news?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither. Just watch the next episode of The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is whatever is next. And our outro.
Episode 5.
It was a 5.
I think it's 5.
See, this is at least I can look forward to that.
Yeah.
After this, jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Anyway, episode 5 is next. Our outro song is called Creepy Doll by Jonathan Colton, and he can be found at jonathancolton.com. Thank you, fuck off, and have a swell evening. This is Real Horror Show signing off.
Bye.
Bye bye.
There it is.
And there's a creepy doll that always follows